for the people. She's a good leader. Protect your pride and lose character. Nevis our first priority. Janice shine bright, could I never dim. She not for the people. She's a good leader. Protect your pride and lose character. Nevis our first priority. Janice shine bright, could I never dim. Nevis our first priority. Change must come in this economy. Janice, take a look on society. Nevis can't go back to poverty. Find this part of prosperity. Good vibes, love off the energy. Nevis is a place where you wanna be. Let me tell you about Janice. She no follow back her people. She know you know where you into. Such a different style, different flow. Positive and up and up so the thing go. Good and evil could never ever mingle. No. She no good that we understand. We understand. Janice no follow people. She's a good leader. Protect your pride and lose character. Nevis our first priority. Janice shine bright, could I never dim. She not for the people. She's a good leader. Protect your pride and lose character. Nevis our first priority. Janice shine bright, could I never dim. St. James people, vote for Janice, vote for NRP.
NRP, Nevis Reformation Party.
Nevis Reformation Party.
We put Nevis first.
We put Nevis first.
Dr. Janice,
Dr. Janice,
our party leader.
our party leader. How them a go stop them speed up? Them can.
NRP, yeah, 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 yeah. NRP, yeah, 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 yeah. NRP, yeah, 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 yeah. NRP, yeah, 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 yeah. NRP party, what we voting for? NRP party, what we voting for? These are the things we gonna do for you. These are the things we gonna do for you.
NRP puts Nevis and its people first. Positivity and inclusivity, not negativity and divisiveness. Witness the rise of a green and blue economy that will benefit all the people of Nevis. NRP brings projects and completes projects for the people. Only NRP can deliver renewable energy, food security, and job sustainability. We understand the necessity of small businesses and will offer every support. Better educational opportunities through scholarships and applicable technology. Your health is our major concern. All will come to Nevis under NRP. NRP, Nevis Reformation Party. Change must come, not just to some, but to all.
NRP, yeah, 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 yeah. NRP, yeah, 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 yeah. NRP, yeah, 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 yeah. NRP, yeah, 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 yeah. NRP party, what we voting for? NRP party, what we voting for? But change gonna come to all not some. Tell all the youths time for your fun. Tell Uncle Benji pass me liquor rum. Oh Lord, Lord, yeah. NRP, Nevis Reformation Party. Show me you want if you're voting. Yeah. For NRP, you know we voting. Yeah. Show me you want. Oh yeah. Hey, we voting for NRP, the performance party. The other party a comedy like them want for a coming movie. We vote NRP, the performance performance party. The other party a comedy like them want for a coming movie. Show me you and if you're voting for NRP, you know we voting. Show me you and if you're voting for progress. I got this feeling, wonderful feeling. Let me see the and them not touch out the ceiling. We gonna live in love again. I got this feeling, wonderful feeling. Keep the faith and keep on believing. We overcome this stress one day. NRP, I got this feeling, wonderful feeling. Let me see the and them not touch out the ceiling. NRP, they on top again. I got this feeling, wonderful feeling. Keep the faith and keep on believing. We overcome this stress one day. I'm voting for NRP, the performance party. The other party a comedy like them want for a coming movie. We voting for NRP, the performance party. The other part. Nevis, I hope them hear this. NRP, Nevis Reformation Party. Show me you and if you're voting for NRP, you know we voting. Show me you want, oh yeah. Hey. We voting for NRP, the performance party. The other party a comedy like them want for a coming movie. We vote NRP, the performance party. The other party a comedy like them want for a coming movie. Show me you and if you're voting for NRP, you know we voting. Show me you and if you're voting for progress. I got this feeling, wonderful feeling. Let me see the and them not touch out the ceiling. We gonna live in love again. I got this feeling, wonderful feeling. Keep the faith and keep on believing. We overcome this stress one day. NRP, I got this feeling, wonderful feeling. Let me see the and them not touch out the ceiling. NRP, they on top again. I got this feeling, wonderful feeling. Keep the faith and keep on believing. We overcome this stress one day. I'm voting for NRP, the performance party. The other party a comedy like them want for a coming movie. We voting for NRP, the performance party. The other party a comedy like them want for a coming movie. So we got to preserve what we got. Sweet Nevis, we have to take it back. We need more jobs for the youths on the block. More positivity, no negativity. Oh Lord, love for the ladies and the babies. Everybody, we need a better Nevis, a better Nevis, a better Nevis. Whoa, we voting for NRP, the performance party. The other party a comedy like them want for a coming movie. We vote NRP, the performance party. The other party a comedy like them want for a coming movie. Vote, 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 vote. Wave the green flag them. Oh, yeah. So show me you and if you're voting. Show me you and if you're voting. For NRP, you know we're voting. Sister Janice, you know we're voting. Voting, voting, voting. Oh, la, 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 la. Hey. Oh, yeah. I'm voting for NRP, the performance party. The other party a comedy like them want for a coming movie. We vote NRP, the performance party. The other party a comedy. Whoa.
Check 1 2 1 2 check 1 2 check mic check 1 2. Yeah, we're gonna start in 5 minutes time. 5 minutes time. So draw near, come in front. We're gonna start this meeting in 5 minutes time.
Nevis, I hope them hear this. NRP, Nevis Reformation Party. Show me you and if you're voting. For NRP, you know we voting. Show me you want, oh yeah. Hey. We voting for NRP, the performance party. The other party a comedy like them want for a coming movie. We vote NRP, the performance party. The other party a comedy like them want for a coming movie. Show me you and if you're voting. For NRP, you know we voting. Show me you and if you're voting for progress. I got this feeling, wonderful feeling. Let me see the and them not touch out the ceiling. We gonna live in love again. I got this feeling, wonderful feeling. Keep the faith and keep on believing. We overcome this stress one day. NRP, I got this feeling, wonderful feeling. Let me see the and them not touch out the ceiling. NRP, they on top again. I got this feeling, wonderful feeling. Keep the faith and keep on believing. We overcome this stress one day.
performance party. The other party a comedy, like them one for your coming movie. We voting for NRP. The performance party. The other party a comedy, like them one for your coming movie. So we got to preserve what we got. Sweet Nevis, we have to take it back. We need more jobs for the youths on the block. More positivity, no negativity. Oh Lord, love for the ladies and the babies. Everybody, we need a better Nevis, a better Nevis, a better Nevis. Whoa, we voting for NRP, the performance party. The other party a comedy, like them one for a coming movie. We vote NRP, the performance party. The other party a comedy, like them one for a coming movie. Vote, 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 vote. Wave the green flag, them. Oh, yeah. So show me your one if you're voting. Show me your one if you're voting. For NRP, you know we're voting. Sister Janice, you know we're voting. Voting, voting, voting. Oh, la, 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 la. Hey. Oh, yeah. I'm voting for NRP, the performance party. The other party a comedy, like them one for a coming movie. We vote NRP, the performance party. The other party a comedy. Whoa, yeah. I got this feeling, wonderful feeling. Let me see the and them not a touch the ceiling. NRP, they pan top again. I got this feeling, wonderful feeling. Keep the faith and keep on believing. We overcome this stress one day. Nevis, Reformation Party. NRP, Sister Janice. We voting. Get out the corruptions. Oh, hey, 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 show me one. Show me one.
Nevis first. Nevis first. Hey. Janice the for the people. She's a good leader. Protect your pride and lose character. Nevis our first priority. Janice shine bright, could I never dim. She not for the people. She's a good leader. Protect your pride and lose character. Nevis our first priority. Janice shine bright, could I never dim. Nevis our first priority. Change must come in this economy. Janice, take a look on society. Nevis can't go back to poverty. Find this part of prosperity. Good vibes, love off the energy. Nevis is a place where you wanna be. Let me tell you about Janice. She no follow back her people. She know you know where you into. Such a different style, different flow. Positive and up so the thing go. Good and evil could never ever mingle. No, she no go that we understand. We understand. Janice no follow people. She's a good leader. Protect your pride and lose character. Nevis our first priority. Janice shine bright, could I never dim. She not for the people. She's a good leader. Protect your pride and lose character. Nevis our first priority. Janice shine bright, could I never dim. St. James people, vote for Janice, vote for NRP.
Comes the sun shining on my face again. Grades get me high, high so I can meditate. Dreams of brighter days. Highest grades we blaze.
It's like we're living in the last days. Come from a village of toes, and the same time we come from a village of love. And the same kind of pressure can't take it no more. A beer scrimmage, look how you paint a bad man image for the innocent youth. And them kind of sins the past of us and rebuke, absolute. Say you want the truth, but see that aye. Them use the media for tell be lie. So watch I know, me have to send love to all my people them. Watch them flip out without reason, men but walk amongst evil men. You better know that's your judgment day. I go fall on you right away. You're running and you're running and you're running away, but you can't escape that judgment. No sir, you can't escape. No sir, wow. I say you're running and you're running and you're running away, but you can't escape that judgment. No sir, no sir, yeah. You're above the law, but you know up to standard. Servant protect, not fear, send a graveyard. Kinda like the way I live, full of sin, reaper them full of grim. Killer king can't take it no more, me I sing, boy. Say wrong is wrong, whosoever coming from shall feel the wrath of the Father. For generations and generations to come. It would have been my day if I could dance with you tonight. If your man around, tell him just walk out, it's alright. So me and nip on your leg, then just to squeeze it when you whine. If you wanna walk me, tell your baby, waste my time. Girl, just for tonight and I could be your one and only. When you waste time move, you got me man just like I'm stony. Got my up she foot, but now she back just like a Kobe. Step up to the bar, take a couple shots, no that's Ginobili. Just hold me, please. Your body's so dangerous. People in my watches, but they don't mean a thing to us. No, like how you're whining. Oh, baby, keep that timing. Oh, like how you're moving. Baby, put your back into it. Like how you're moving. I'm the one you want in your life. What will your friends say if I hold you tonight? I'm the one you want in your life. What will your friends say if I hold you tonight? This song for the Spanish girls will call me puppet chulo. Same one for the guy, girls will kick out like a judo. Show me all the dirty tricks and that's the tricks that you know. You go boss a wine and I will surely try control ya. If your man not coming off to see me and try fight me, but don't you try to dance up on the man, just try to spite me. If you try to make me jealous, I can tell you that's unlikely. Give it to you rough and I can give it to you lightly. A girl like your love and nobody else can take it, my baby. A girl like your love and nobody else can take it, my baby. Your love, nobody else take it, my baby. A girl is your love, nobody else can take it, my baby. I'll be the one you want in your life. What will your friends say if I hold you tonight? I'll be the one you want in your life. What will your friends say if I hold you tonight? If you see a girl you want wine on, just let me hear you say, oh, 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 oh. So tell me if you see a girl you want wine on, just let me hear you say, oh, 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 oh. If you see a girl you want wine on, just let me hear you say, oh, oh, oh. So tell me if you see a girl you want wine on, just let me hear you say, oh, oh, oh. I'll be the one you want in your life. What will your friends say if I hold you tonight? I'll be the one you want in your life. What will your friends say if I hold you tonight?
me give you your privacy. Trust you want to listen and lie to me. Promise you that everything is right with me. But you could have never do the same with me. Hey, every time I busy, you a call and I ask when me really be. More times me I tell you send a play with me. But you always think another girl than near to me. Baby, girl you no see it, are your insecurity? Yeah, that again the best away. You know see how you search up my baby. And I make nice about some text you say. My phone, I buy your phone, I own. So when you see me phone, leave it alone. Don't search my phone. Don't search my phone. My phone, I buy your phone, I own. So when you see me phone, leave it alone. Don't search my phone. Don't search my phone. Why your eye can't see, your heart can't grieve. So when you see a text from my phone, don't read. I'm sorry for the pain and the hurt where you feel. And I'm sorry you a move like you a drama queen. We a fall out when we should have fallen. When you feel you come, you a say you want leave. Me a explain, you not believe. Busy I make nice, so you can't see your insecurity. Hey, that again the best away. You see how you search up my baby. And I make nice about some text you say. My phone, I buy your phone, I own. So when you see me phone, leave it alone. Don't search my phone. Don't search my phone. My phone, I buy your phone, I own. So when you see me phone, leave it alone. Don't search my phone. Don't search my phone. Making you privacy. Trust you want to listen and lie to me. Promise you that everything is right with me. Well, you could have never do the same with me. Hey, every time I busy, you a call and I ask when me really be. More times me I tell you send a play with me. Why you always think another girl than near to me? Baby, girl you no see it, are your insecurity? Yeah, that again the best away. You no see how you search up my baby. And I make nice about some text you say. My phone, I buy your phone, I own. So when you see me phone, leave it alone. Don't search my phone. Don't search my phone. My phone, I buy your phone, I own. So when you see me phone, leave it alone. Don't search my phone. Don't search my phone. The amount of pretty girls around me, but me still feel lonely. Feel like the whole world against me. And girl, you know they are so below me now. And I'm about to beg you please. Does it even like you not feel? All them nights on me feel. All memories and moments we shared in the cycle. They tell me what's the man for change your life. I say you can't call you one more one. So me enjoy good boy thing. Sweet. Pretty in your short, give me that. Know you love it how you're walking. Me ever checking when you're strolling past my way. And I can't help but think nasty. Don't run away. I got something in store. Turn you on your wheel. Hardcore, so me have to just put out my iPhone and get a thing. This moment in me I capture. Put this in your hole, I make you rapture. Yeah, my ex are no factor. When the sin feel weak, you check the doctor. Get to report like a tractor. She want a real one, come girl, not no actor. That's how I know you're crazy. Cause you keep coming back. When you say you're done, and when you're ready, figure just get me and tell you come. I say I know you're crazy. You give me the best touch, the best love that me ever get in a while. I know it's I messed up, but when you just love, make me humble myself like a little child. Couple minutes for make you pay the price. Set you up on the top and make you ride the motorbike. Nice and easy when me come alive. Make you ready to ride. Really thought that you was innocent until me see you grip your weapon like you're militant. I watch love is something that it's evident. I tell you want it every day like I your supplement. If you meeting at the front too, give me gas. Nobody with it, I'm talking physical benefit. Enter with the kitty cat, smooth criminal. That's how I know you're crazy. Cause you keep coming back when you say you're done. And when you're ready, figure touch, get me until you come. I say I know you're crazy.
Classic, and at the same time, progressive.
It's a core to the core. Get it. Gimme. Well, yeah. Nice, man. Trouble coming up the road to Remani. You hear Papa? Trouble. People jamming to the core band, reading all the raps, them waving everybody, chanting, singing.
Are you ready to rumble? Are you ready to rumble? NRP people, join here. We are ready. Thank you for your patience. Just come in front, let me see you. As usual, before we do anything on the NRP platform, we ask God's presence and his blessing. And so this time we are bringing forth a young man from this area who will invoke God's presence with us this evening. And then we'll kick things off.
Good evening. Let us pray. Almighty God, we thank you for bringing us here tonight. We thank you for the candidates who are presenting, and I pray that they will win victory in the next federal election, not only in the next federal election, but in the local election. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Straight to the point. No cutting any corners with Almighty God. Straight to the point. This is our petition. And so, ladies and gentlemen, once again we say good evening to all of you who are listening via the radio, 2020 Vision, and other media houses. We are live in Fountain. And so, as we get things going this evening, I want to start off asking you to consider, wherever you are, once you're in Nevis, during the time of election, to give your vote for the candidates of the Nevis Reformation Party. You see, ladies and gentlemen, we said that serious times need serious people, and we are in serious times. If you look at your lights bill, you would understand that we are in serious time. But you know what bothers me is that the Prime Minister gave some assistance in giving 10% to all the public workers in St. Kitts and Nevis. But somehow, the concerned citizens stealers take out 5. And I want you to think seriously about that. Because when you go to the grocery shop and you could only come out with 1 or 2 plastic bags, if you had gotten that 10%, you could have come out with 4. When you go to Nevis to pay your bills and you recognize that you would have to pay some and leave some because you don't have enough money, you could have paid the whole bill. When you go to pay your water bill and you have to make a deposit rather than clearing the whole bill, if you had gotten the 10%, you could have cleared the entire thing. What if you're buying medicine? Do you recognize that an extra 5% on your money could take you a long way? I am proud to say to you this evening that from the platform of the Nevis Reformation Party, when you elect us, that will change. That will change. And I want to tell you to put your X for the candidates of the Nevis Reformation Party. I want to say to you from this platform that the whole federation is speaking about our candidates. And the next candidate I would like to bring to you this evening is the lady from number 9. And the people in Brown Hill say, she ready. The people in Charlestown say, she ready. The people in Cox say, she ready. I went to Bath, and they are saying, that's the doctor with the right prescription. The people in Brown Pasha is telling me they can't wait for her to come. Well, people of St. James, people of Fountain, I want you to put your hands together and welcome our next representative in the Federal House, Dr. Patricia Bartlett.
NRP people, good night. Nevis 11, good night. To all within the sound of my voice, and I mean people who are in the diaspora as well. It's a pleasure, as usual, to have you guys join us. And everywhere I go, I have to talk about the people who I know, because I don't want anybody to feel left out. So I just want to extend greetings to some of my Fountain people. People like Livy. And I know that Frida not here now, but I used to come by her too. So Cabo, accept my greetings on behalf of the family. It is really a pleasure to be in Fountain. Now, tonight is the start of a new series. Last week, we talked about some things. This week, we plan to talk about some other things. Because we're here tonight 3 years early. Because the people who were in charge for the last 2 years, they had a lot of song and dance about good governance. All you remember good governance? Everybody used to talk about good governance. As a matter of fact, the unity government, they ousted Douglas and his team, and the very issue that they had with Douglas is that they said he was not practicing good governance. You remember that? No. They are the ones who told us that they were going to deliver good governance. They said they were going to bring good governance to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. So you know what? Let us examine what they were really saying. Let us examine how they performed. And also, let us examine how they fell short and disappointed all of us. Papa, I know you're disappointed. Now stand up there like you're not disappointed, because I know you're disappointed. Now, when we hear about good governance, what do we expect? What do you and I expect? We expect that we would have a government. We expect that we would have a government that would look out for everybody. We expect that we would have a government that would practice just what they preach, and what they would do is to minimize corruption. We expect them to take into consideration our opinions, because that is a part of good governance. Listen to what people want so you can deliver for them. And of course, we expect them to act to bring development to all of our people, not just some. Because if you just bring development to just some people, it means that you would have failed on the issue of good governance. So what I want to do tonight, because I'm not so sure that they made it, and they like to use the word pellucid, I'm not so sure that they made it pellucidly clear to us what good governance really is all about. So tonight, the United Nations, they have a set of principles. As a matter of fact, they have 8 principles that they said if you abide by these things, you're well on your way to delivering for your people good governance. And one of the first things they say is that participation is one of the principles. You hear what I said? Participation. So what that means is that every one of us here has a voice. Every one of us here has a voice. And it's either that you're going to use your representative, you're going to use an institution you're associated with, or you're going to use your individual voice in order for people to hear you. So, nobody's supposed to suppress that. Because in our Constitution, it says, and it gives us the right to free speech. Our Constitution gives us the right to freedom of expression and association. Those are fundamental. Those are what you call enshrined in the Constitution. So when you're not practicing that, it means that you're not practicing good governance. So, here it is. Had they been practicing good governance, Keith Atherton should not have been turned away just because his wife said something that some minister didn't like. That is not good governance. Okay. Oh, Lord. That cannot be good governance, so we have to hold them accountable for that. You cannot treat people like that. The second rule is the rule of law. That is the second principle we're going to examine, the rule of law. Remember, it's the United Nations that these are not me. We're going up, and the one thing with NRP people, we embrace those things that the international people set as the best practices. So when we examine the rule of law, what it says is that whatever legal framework we have in place, we must apply them impartially. It means what we say locally, no curry favor. You cannot curry favor as it relates to the law. We can't rat up, or we can't have people who are ratting up people and want justice for them. And then we have some people who get in the natter justice, or you know about the natter story, right? So on the one hand, natter is treated one way, and the rat up man is treated a different way. You cannot have that. If you're going to practice good governance, you must respect the fact that the legal framework is there for everybody to abide by, and it must be applied impartially. So when they take oaths, and these oaths are serious, mind you, when they take an oath and say they're going to uphold the Constitution is the highest law of this land. It is the highest law of the land. So they must take it seriously. And so, when our politicians decided that they were going to stop put money in the pool so that we could get a fair share as our revenue allocation, that was illegal. That was illegal. So if you're practicing good governance, you ought not to do that. Because look what happened. Jeopardized me and you. For the last 3 years, it's $81 million we lose. Nevis lose out on $81 million because our politicians were being lawless. And they are the ones, mind you, who said, put them in power and you would see good governance. But of course, they have not delivered on that. The third principle I want to introduce to us tonight, as it relates to good governance, is transparency. I'm sure you all been hearing this word. Everybody by now, and the cousin should know what transparency means. Transparency! This means that every policy, what it really means essentially, is that every policy made and implemented must be under existing regulations. So whatever the regulation is, if you make a policy, it must confine. It must line up. It must be consistent with the regulations. So you know what this means? People can't just decide they're going to let their friend bill right on the seashore. There is a regulation already in place. So when you hear that they had to break down the hotel thing down the road because the court said you can't do that, it means they were stepping out of bound. That is not good governance. If you had rules, you have to respect the rules that are there, that are made under the regulations. If you want to change the regulation, you can do that. So do it, but you can't break the laws. That is not good governance, and we must hold them accountable for that. Now the fourth principle, and I only have 8 minutes, so bear with me. The fourth one is what they call responsiveness. It says that all government agencies or their functionaries must attempt to serve all stakeholders within a reasonable time. So what that means is, not because your neighbor is blue, they're not supposed to get a house before you if they just applied 5 weeks ago. But you already applied 5 years ago just because you were green. They cannot do that. If you send them a letter, they ought to respond to you in the same period of time that they would respond to somebody in a blue shirt. If they were to, if they're gonna go contrary to that, it means that they are not doing what? They are not only that they're not responsive, but they're not practicing good governance. And when we leave from here tonight, I want for all of us to have an appreciation as to what good governance is, because we in the NRP, we are going to deliver on good governance. Now the fifth principle is the consensus, and they said this fancy language says consensus oriented. And what that really means is that all of us are supposed to have a share in the thing. Mind you, you can't please everybody at the same time all the time. It's not, things don't work like that. But you must be able to at least please most of the people, but most importantly, not do harm to anybody else, especially those who are in the minority. So they can't be treating NRP people any worse than anybody else. They need to hear from us as well. If they're doing that, it means that they are not practicing good governance. And that same decision that I made reference to before, it is quite poignant for me to at least remind you that the decision that they would have made to stop pay into the consolidated fund, into the pool of St. Kitts Nevis revenue, they did not consult with us. So they didn't get consensus, they just went and they did it, and at the end of the day, all of us got harmed. Now the sixth principle is equity and inclusiveness. Equity and inclusiveness. It says that everyone has the same opportunity to improve and maintain their welfare or their well-being. So when we got tongue and they want to discriminate against us, tell them that that is not good governance. That cannot be good governance. So CCM, you can't have CCM people entitled to certain privileges, but just because you're NRP, you're not entitled. They have to include all of us. If you're going to represent people, if you're going to govern people, and if you're going to be good at it, you have to represent everybody. You have to include everybody. You have to include the people who you like, you have to include the people who you don't like, and those people who you feel nothing about. So whatever is fit for the goose is fit for the... There you go. They have to include all of us. And they have to make sure that there is equity. All of us have an equal opportunity to enjoy the fruits of our labor. All of us have an equal opportunity to participate in Nevis. Not that some people get jobs and some can't get. That is not inclusiveness. That is not equity. All of us have the same opportunity, and it should be extended to all of us. If they're not practicing that, tell them they don't know what good governance is. But tell them that NRP is waiting to deliver on good governance. So you see me, I really believe in the principle of good governance. I really believe in the principle of equity. Because I show those of you who were at Mango Tree Bar on Sunday, I had some scratch cards giving away a little thing, but everybody got an equal opportunity to participate. Some people gonna win, some people gonna not win. And Sylvester won, even though he not pay lights bill home. Sylvester. But the point is, you give everybody a fair opportunity. Give it to everybody. It is blindfolded. You don't take sides. You don't be partial. Give everybody an opportunity. That is just the way it's gonna be. Because we believe in good governance. Abba not better than Saba. You couldn't have put it any better. So we believe in equity. Now, I have just two more, so bear with me. The next one is effectiveness and efficiency. Decisions should meet the needs of all communities. All. So you can't say you're not fixing a road in Cotton Ground because Cotton Ground people now vote for CCM. If you're the government of Nevis, you've got to look after everybody equally. Everybody needs must be met. If you're not practicing that, you're what? There you go. I think we're catching on. We know what to expect now when they talk about good governance. So they're not going to fool us. They're going to either deliver or they're going to move out of the way. Because we're going to demand good governance here in Nevis. So you see, when we talk about the effectiveness and efficiency, we have to understand as well that when you're using government resources, you have to be efficient. And you have to be effective. No cost overrun. Well, Papa, you look like you're looking at my notes. No cost overruns. We ought not to have any planka like at the hospital, planka. You understand? If we're going to be efficient in the way that we use government resources, we must have a plan. You must come to people with a plan that is good governance. You can't just come take up the money and just tell your friend, just draw a little sketch over there and start your thing. You do that down by the pier, you get away with it. You're going to do that with a hospital? No. You must have plans in place and you must follow the procedures, follow protocol, man. In order for you to deliver on good governance. You don't own yourself. You're accountable to us, but we'll get to accountability in a minute. So, we shouldn't have people who have no experience, no inexperienced tradesman taking on no professional job, because that in itself is going to lead to inefficiencies. And like I said a while ago, and it bears repeating, we do not want any more Alexander Planka. We don't want that. That is not good governance. And now the last one, and I know you all really want Janice to come, but the last principle of good governance I want to leave with you is about accountability. Now, we've been talking about accountability. We've been talking about accountability till the cows come home. Because what? It is an issue for this present administration. We hire them, and they seem not to want to account to us. When we ask about the 400 million, I see my picture show up. What mean about the 400 million? What they putting me in the thing for? Me don't know nothing about what they do with the $400 million, but they got me up on video. I talk about $400 million just because we ask. So we're not supposed to ask. They say you mustn't ask. Now ask how much money we get. Well, how they out of order, sir? If they're going to practice good governance, they're going to have to account for the money. And you can't come and double count. Because when people ask about 400 million, you forget, is last week you say you take loan for the, solar generator? So how this week you going to come and think and tell us that that is a part of the 400 million? As if you think we fool. The Papa, am I want, as if, man, that is disrespectful. That is disrespectful. Yes, that can't work. Because as a public official, whether you are appointed or you're elected, you've got to answer to the people. You've got to answer to the people because you are accountable to those people. They put you in trust over their affairs. And so you must answer to them. So you could never think that you're above the law. And that is the problem, I think, that we have been encountering with this administration. They operate as if they are above the law. But that is not good governance. The laws of the land are in place to maintain public order and to promote justice, peace, and equality. And they must, for all. You're so right, for all. and they must always practice that, and we must hold them accountable for that. So, to not to adhere to the 8 principles that I just talked about means that they ain't practicing good governance. They just talk about it. And that is why we are so disappointed. Because you come and preach, give us a chance. We give you a chance, and look what you do. Look what you do. You ain't even take out the book. They say, one of them said that NRP people like to read books and sound intelligent. They ask them, you can read too? It's time they took out the book and start to read. So if they don't know what is expected of them, they must read before they take up the appointment. Read before they come and ask you to elect them, or else they're going to just come and talk pure foolishness. And then the other half going to just be lies. So Nevis 11, that's why you must vote for Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge. If you want good governance, you must vote for Nevis 9, Nevis 11, you must vote for Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge. If you want good governance, Nevis 10, you must vote for Rohan Isles. And Nevis 9, if you want good governance, see me here, choose me, Patricia Bartlett. Good night and thank you.
Okay. Oh, Lord.
Nevis first. Nevis first.
Good governance. Good governance. That's why I told you, serious business needs serious people. And so, ladies and gentlemen, not too far from here, you have a geothermal well that was dug by the Nevis Reformation Party. But when the change of government came, there is a $9 million that was given to the concerned citizens stealers. And I'm told that he went into somebody's law firm. The question is, who law firm? Who law firm? So when they say fair share, you must ask them, fair share for who? Fair share for who? Because if Sinkis could give you $9 million and only one law firm in the Nevis get the whole $9 million, then fair share for who? I want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, that not only that, the NRP bought 2 dialysis machines and brought them to Nevis. And the Taiwanese gave them $168,000 US. And no, nothing done to the machines. So the question is, where the money gone? But then we see the hands of the concerned citizens stealers. And up to now, the people of Nevis are still suffering from lack of health care. I said already, I'm going to say it again, I'm fed up of giving money per sponsor card for people just to go across to St. Kitts. I'm fed up of going to barbecue when the Nevis Reformation Party had put things in place. Well, I come to tell you people of Fountain that come next election, Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge will be the remedy for the people of Nevis.
Nevis first.
She will be the remedy for the people of Nevis. You see, we talk about effectiveness and efficiency. Those are things that are lacking from the other side. And I want to say to you tonight that I'm bringing a young man from Gingerland to speak to you. And he has proven himself already. And so that is why come next election, we people are ready to send him to Bastille so that he can continue to do the work. When he came first, he asked you, what can I do for you? So he listened to the people. And now that you have told him what you want, he has said, no, I am ready and prepared to work on behalf of the people of Nevis. And so I wanted to stand with me tonight and welcome our next speaker to the platform. My brother, my friend, Mr. Rohan Isles of Nevis 10. Could you put your hands together and welcome him?
Nevis first.
Good night, good night, good night. Good night, televisions here and in the diaspora. It is good to be in Fountain. It is good to be in Fountain. I want to start tonight. I bring me pen and me paper, Papa. You know, I'm a teacher at heart. So I want to do a little teaching. It won't be long. But I want to start with the word con, which means to, in actuality, get people to do something by deceit. Right? Remember the word. We're going to come back to it. You know, Dr. Bartlett has presented on a very important concept, which is good governance. And I learned about good governance way back in 2007. And there are some very basic tenets, and two of them I'll pick out. One is accountability, because people trust you with leadership. And the two, it is a simple premise that everybody must benefit. Let me say that again. Everybody must benefit. You may not all get what you want, but you should all get something at the most basic level. And by Dr. Bartlett's lesson today, it is clear that the concern, listen, them fellas on the other side have failed miserably at any type of governance. You know, we are here in the face of an election, not just for the heart and soul of Nevisians, but for the minds of Nevisians. Because we recognize that there is a particular force that is looking to con Nevisians. For 7 years, he has been mastering the art of using words and conning Nevisians. Well, we're going on a train of accountability tonight. We have been asking about the $400 million. And for a long time, they have said, ignore the noise. But I love me NRP people. Listen, if I love me NRP people one more time, you have consistently applied the pressure. Tell us where and how you spent our $400 million. And like the rings around Jericho, the walls of this administration are tumbling. And an answer has to come. And so they tried a little something with 36 things they said they did. I ain't going through the 36. But I found some interesting. In there was that out of the 400 million came the TVET program at GSS. Well, lest we forget, the TVET enhancement program is a federal initiative, which is funded by the Caribbean Development Bank and the federal government of St. Kitts and Nevis. So we're 3.9 million, which is the cost out of the 400 million. So let me take out that, put that aside so long, because they say 3.9 the cost, and he said that come out of the 400. Ain't me, you know. You could go research it right there. The police station, let's say come in at just over, I don't know what just over mean, but just over 5.5 million. He said the police station come out of the 400 million. Hey, hold on there. So, the 2 million sent over from Bastia is a part of the 400 million. Because government, the federal government gave 2 million. They went to First Caribbean for 2.6 million. So unless he can prove to us that he took 2.6 out of the 400 and gave it back to First Caribbean, well, I want to know how the 5.5 come out of the $400 million. Not me. I'm telling you, I'm just bringing the facts. In there, I saw 2 brand new garbage trucks. Say, come out of the 400 million. Well, ask Omni Global if they did not give this government 2 brand new garbage trucks valued at $300,000 US. Well, tell you gonna come back to the con, you know. And me say so. Then he said 2 brand new ambulance, some nice looking Ford. I don't know if it's a privilege or what, but I had the occasion to drive in one. Nice things. Come out of the 400 million. Well, I don't, Antonio, mean I have to be a liar. Because Social Security gave $250,000 for the purchase of one of those vehicles. So take out that too. So we don't take out 3.9. We don't take out 4.6. We take out another 300,000. Ain't me say so. It's there. He put it there and say he paid for them. The CCT program. Said that come out the 400 million too. The Taiwanese paid $1.8 million into that program. So take out that too. Because the question at the end of the night gonna ask, well, if you say, or if them say, all of them things come out the 400 million. And the evidence is there to show that they did not. Well, where is it? Where is it? Why is it that that money can't be accounted for? And we have not done anything in education to say, well, this was the money, XYZ. Where the money? All right. Ain't me saying. I am not the one who has said it. So these things that he has placed in this, as he said, the list is not exhaustive. My suggestion is to stop now. Because the more you go on, is the more we realize that you are simply conning the people of Nevis. And that is a part of accountability. Honesty is a part of accountability, and divisions must open their eyes and understand that when you have people who are liars, finish it. They say, well, you find a liar. Aye. Aye. Okay. Now I learned today that they got their 10%, Papa. I wasn't paying much attention to that. They got their 10%, Papa. Papa, they got their 10%. 15, 10 and 5. They got their 10%. Well, I want to understand what are they really fighting for? Who are they really fighting for? That you in good conscience can take 10% and tell people who have worked long and hard, suffered through COVID, that hey, the money come, but you only value 5. Take the 5 here now and wait for NRP to come to give you what is rightfully yours, because I know the time and the day is coming when that administration shall have to limit the office. How do you look at people and tell them, hold that 5% when you know you have the resources to pay the 10%? I want to talk to teachers tonight, you know. I want to talk to teachers tonight because I understand the nurses have gotten something. Firemen got, because of course they are paid by the federal government. Police got, they too are paid by the federal government. Well, teachers, for you who stood on the front line in the battle against COVID, who ensured that there was some stability in education, who came out day in and day out, working hard with our students, ensuring their safety, protecting their mental space, doing what was necessary to keep the country in a place that was sane. Well, you not deserve 10%. You not deserve 10%. You sacrifice just as much, maybe more. I could understand and remember the days when it was difficult for you because you were trying to get accustomed to the new program. But you weathered the storm. For our children, you went to work. Your own safety you put online, you went to work. You did what was asked of you. But you don't deserve 10%. And you did it willingly. And with love and care and compassion. And maybe they could have taken something out of your books. You don't deserve 10%. They have done nothing to aid you in this era. Our schools are still not technologically advanced. You are still asked to sit down and do tedious prep work. You don't deserve 10%. Well, I got a little thing to tell you. You see, there's a party called Nevis Reformation Party who believe in advancing the cause of our teachers. And I want to promise you tonight that when you restore good governance to the NRP, we are going to look after you. We are going to ensure that you're done away with this tedious prep thing and to avail yourselves of technology that allows you to put our students in position to compete with the best of them across the region. That is our promise to you. And I want to tell you to listen out because we're developing a program for you. We are going to develop an incentive program for you because your commitment to our nation's most prized resources must be rewarded. And so I started, Papa, with the word con. You see, we said free tertiary education. We said we're bringing the Star Institute. Then the run comes and say they're going to drop your loan from 9%. When 9% would even there. The 9% ain't even there. But they said they're going to drop your loan from 9%. But here, we're telling you free. F-R-E-E. Your tertiary education will be free. We are not sending you to any bank to get any money. They realize they get blows upon that because they did the research. They come back now and say they're going to pay economic cost of our students at UWI. This is the same government that have set to the visions. Listen, if you ain't doing this and you ain't doing that, we ain't granting you no assistance.
Program for you.
But I am telling you that this Nevis program for you. He's saying, no matter what it is you desire, we lighten the fire to your prosperity by granting you free tertiary education. When we come, we said Star, that was a plan, not con. When I said Star Institute, that was a plan.
I promise to you, I want to tell you to listen out because we're developing a program for you. I promise to you, I want to tell you to
poverty, clean, cheap energy, ensuring that our people are prosperous in a land they love. That was a plan, not a con. I'm going to tell you, when we came and we said that we are going to invest in the cannabis production for economic purposes, that was a plan, not a con. When we told you that we are going to
teachers,
programs that will allow
for
you
who stood on the front line in the battle against COVID, who ensured that there was some stability in education.
When we talk about accountability, being accessible to our people, ensuring that whatever we do is done right, that is a plan, not a con. And when we talk about cleaner, cheaper energy, that is a plan, not a con. You see, on this NRP platform, there are individuals with plans. We are honest people. We are accountable people. We are responsible people. And we are a people that loves the vision. They are our focal point. They are our center. And that is why whatever we do will always be to their benefit. On the other side, there is conmanship. If there is a word you'll see their faces. But remember, today we come with plans, not cons. It is time for a new direction with the Nevis Reformation Party. Join us as we restore our peace, reclaim our progress, reignite our prosperity. Good night. Thank you, and God bless you.
Nevis first. Nevis first. Nevis first. Nevis first. Nevis first. Hey. John is not for the people. She's a good leader. Protect your pride and lose character. Nevis our first priority. Janet shine bright, could I never dim. She not for the people.
Nevis first. That is her first priority. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some special treats tonight. And for those of you who desire some refreshment, there are goat water and barbecue chicken available. There is some water here as well. So you can come, whatever you desire. Somebody has sponsored that, so there's some treats here. In the meantime, we have a special treat for you. For we have a little entertainment. We have a young man who is coming to do something special for Janice. But in the meantime, I want you to consider Alexandra Hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, you must understand that we are talking about $400 million. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But for 5 years, they've been building something up by the hospital. And then when you look across the road, you see about 10 heap of blocks and concrete. About 10 heap of blocks and concrete. They messed up the entire building. And then they had to hire a crew to jackhammer and sledgehammer the entire inside. You hear them say they're going to hammer them? Well, a hammer been up there. Jackhammer, sledgehammer, claw hammer. But ladies and gentlemen, after telling the people of Nevis that the building on value $18 million, they don't spend 25. And as I said, there's nothing on the inside. So it means that they don't even reach halfway yet. And the question is, where the money gone? Where the money gone? Because, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to need another 25, you know? If the concerned citizens, stealers, get back in there, you're going to need another 25. And in the meantime, the people of Nevis will be left to suffer. And so I ask you the question, will you take that risk? Will you take that chance? Because I want to say to you all, a vote for the other side is a wasted vote. And I can tell you why I say so. Them just get fired, all of them. Get fired from St. Kitts. So them and the Prime Minister team, nah talk. Them and the Labour team, nah talk. The PAM tell me that they don't trust him as far as they could trust him. So where you going? Where they going? You hear the Prime Minister said not one of them could hold up a candle of correction to him. And we did not know that that's what he was talking about. That he sent over 400 million And nobody could account for it. Nobody could account for it. But you see, all of them are drive expensive cars, change them every year, buy land and property all over the place. And I want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, do not take that chance. People of St. James, you have a new direction in a new leader. And her name is Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge. And we want you to go to the polls early and vote for the Nevis Reformation Party. She's a serious woman for serious times like this. And so I urge you to make sure that you go to the polls and put your ex for your children's future. Put your ex for your grandparents' future. Put your ex for your children's future. By putting your ex for Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge and the Nevis Reformation Party. I promise you some entertainment. So before she comes, I'll call the entertainment now to come to you.
Welcome to Fountain and Mount Lily, where everyone is from family. Yes, we are living happy. From Upper Tank to Gore Hill, down Ghana's, up Hag Valley, going all the way down to Jumbie Hill. Living in these places gives such a thrill. Welcome to Fountain and Mount Lily, where the people are hard-working and skillful. We got mechanics, teachers, chefs, sales clerks, and fishermen, just to name a few. But to think of it, there is nothing as people we can't do. With 3 churches, a ball field, and plenty food joints, it's a place that never disappoints. The tastiest goat waters at Cabo's Place have Nevisians from all over showing their face. Get that dress that snugs your waist. Shop today at Altia's Place. In my community, Nick's names are plenty, like Spoon, Berries, Butter, Shine, Red Mammy, Lolo, Bloke. You think these people serious? Or it's all a joke? For enough things, and now the girls club, led by Christine, our very own comedian queen. There is so much more that I can say, as we're unique in every way. If your request represent my community, consider yourself best, as Fountain and Mount Lily produce only the best. So we welcome Janice, because she's simply the best and better than all the rest.
Nevis first. Nevis first. Nevis first.
A community of growth and extraordinary young people. As we move along, I call on Mr. Kozia to come and do something for us. Is he close by? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue, it is good to be an NRP this evening. I say it is good to be an NRP this evening. And the other people must be jealous if they are not NRP this evening. Because the people of St. Kitts tell me she is a good leader. She is leadership material. And she is from the island of Nevis. And she stands on the platform of the Nevis Reformation Party. One person calling on the radio and said, she is so calm and eloquent. She can be the next Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis. I endorsed her, and her name is Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge. And she's on the platform of the Nevis Reformation Party. Fountain, I want to say to you that she was in Jessops. And the people of Jessops joined with the people of Cotton Ground and said that we want Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge in the next federal government. She came to Craddock Road. And the people of Craddock Road say, we not only want you, but we endorse you as the next representative in the federal house. The people of Gingerland are saying, what a team. What a leader. Could not be better. And I keep saying, serious times need serious people. And you got a serious person in Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge. And she's on the platform of the Nevis Reformation Party. I want to say to you, people of Fountain, people of St. James and the surrounding areas, she had been part of you for a long time. And you have told us that you love her. And she has made a difference in your life. Well, you could imagine when you vote for her after the next election, what she will do for you. I want to stand on this platform and say to you, ladies and gentlemen, I could not have chosen better. So I want the people to stand to their feet. I want the people to welcome our leader. I want the people to represent themselves. Stand up for the next representative to go to Bastille. The candidate for Nevis 11, our leader, Nevis first, her first priority, Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge.
Janice the for the people, she's a good leader. Protect your pride and lose character. Nevis our first priority. Janice shine bright, could I never dim. She not for the people, she's a good leader. Protect your pride and lose character. Nevis our first priority.
Fountain people, Fountain people, Nevis people, St. James's people. What do we NRP people? Give me a little time. I don't rush into things. Nevis 11 people. Everybody who's here tonight. Fountain people, Brick Hill people, Newcastle people, West Perry people, Camps people, Butlers people. I know my people. Congo people, Central people, Toronto people, everybody who's here tonight. I am here tonight. And guess what? I didn't plan to be here tonight. I didn't plan to be here tonight speaking about federal elections. Because federal election was due in 2025. 2025. And so why are we here tonight contesting a federal election? NRP, we were well on our way for a local election. And some people started to feel the heat, started to feel the fire. And they said, boy, we cannot have a local election before federal election. They thought the federal election was going to be their saving grace. But guess what? They're getting more fire now. They're getting fire left, right, and center. They're getting all kind of fire. All kind of fire. Right? So, I am saying, a saying, be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you ask for. They said they want a federal election. Maybe they didn't really want the federal election. They just wanted a way to get some more money to feel like they could have beat NRP. But guess what? Guess what? Whether they come from the left or the right, the north or the south, the east or the west, NRP is ready. We're ready for them. We're ready for them. We're ready for them. And you know why? You know why we would always be ready? Because as far as NRP is concerned, whether it's a federal election or a local election, we have one priority. Nevis. Nevis is our first priority. And so I will say to you tonight, no matter what happens, once you're focused and you know what your mission is, nobody could take you off track. So they could come with federal, they could come with local, whatever they come with, NRP is ready. NRP is ready. Okay. Now, here we are right now tonight. And we're here contesting a federal election. And I have never seen another party so interested in NRP and its constitution and who NRP is running and who we're not running. Focus on their own business. Go sip your water and focus on your own business. Why are you worried about NRP business? Huh? So I am saying, I think right now, they must be really saying, boy, we didn't ask for all this, no? We didn't expect this. But we are here now, and you're going to take what you get. Take what you get. Because NRP is ready, and we ain't scared. And we're going forward 100%. 100%. Where we are right now, with Nevis, the people of Nevis, having been struggling. And that is why you see NRP has a slate of candidates. NRP has a slate of candidates that can match one-to-one, party-to-party. NRP is the party that always has Nevis as its priority. NRP is the party for Nevis. Okay. Now, you know, sometimes you find yourself in a certain situation. And I'm going to drink my water. And I'm going to mind my business. Because my business is NRP business. And it's Nevis people business. So, let me sip my water and my Nevis people business tonight. We are here tonight. We are here tonight contesting a federal election because never before in the history of Nevis have we had a party that is more destructive, more divisive, more visionless, more self-serving. And we have never seen a party before that have put themselves before country. And so when you put your self-interest before that of the country, we find ourselves in a situation where you're going to end up mashing up. As they say, kill the goose. Kill the goose that lays the golden egg. Right? Because what this CCM government has done, they would have lied to the people. They lied to the people in 2015, saying that the Charlestown Accord was for the benefit of the people of Nevis. In 2015, they campaigned and said, give us all 3, and we are going to go to St. Kitts and bring back your fair share. That was never their purpose. That was never their focus. And so they went to St. Kitts and they ignored the Charlestown Accord. And now I realize, in 2015, they had the Charlestown Accord, they did nothing. And I went mind my business. That's my business. Give us all 3. And we're going to go down and get our parliament and negotiate on behalf of Nevis. I don't know what happened. They mash up the whole government, come out of parliament and say, send us back to parliament. I mean, really? How are we going to send you back to parliament? You no longer have the chance on a card. You don't know what the new federal government is going to look like. You had it, and I would say again and again, then Premier Amri would have given the current CCM a plate, a platter. It is right here. We have the chance on a card. You just need to go to Sinkits and execute and deliver. And if Nevis was really the first priority for the CCM government, we would have had legislative agenda that puts Nevis fair share in a position where we would not be where we are. But you see, they came out in 2015 and they said the Charlestown Accord. They came back in 2020. They didn't tell us that there was confusion, as they said no. That's what they said, no, there was confusion. But guess what? They come around and they ask for your vote. Vote for us, give us all three, and we're going to go back. And so the people gave them a chance. The people gave them a chance. And they went and they did not deliver. But guess what happened? 2015, they lied to us. 2020, they lied to us. And somebody called me and they said, Dr. Janice, I'm listening to a program in the mornings, and I hear somebody playing a clip from your father saying that he endorsed somebody to be the representative. And then I said, no, that's interesting. And then I listened to a show on One Radio. I think it was a Wednesday night. And I heard somebody playing a clip. And said they're going to play it again so the people could hear that the right excellent Dr. Sir Simeon Daniel endorsed them. And I said to myself, well, listen, in 2015, you came and you got the people of Nevis to support you. In 2020, you came back and you got the people of Nevis to support you. And you want to tell me, my good father, whose blood run in my veins, who died in 2012, who felt that that person would have delivered for the people of Nevis. I can assure you, if my father would have been alive today, he would be crying to see that somebody who he felt could deliver for the people of Nevis would have disappointed all of us. He would have disappointed my father, he would have disappointed the late Vance Amri, and he has disappointed all of Nevis. And so, if you are going to go to that level, my father would have died in 2012. And if you feel that that is the means by which you're going to get the people of Nevis to believe in you, guess what? There is a Daniel on the scene. And nobody is going to tell me, that I cannot represent the people of Nevis the way that my father did, with the compassion and the caring that the people of Nevis deserve. Nobody's going to tell me that. And so I don't care. I don't care if the people in St. Kitts want to play a clip all that they want. You cannot create DNA out of thin air. And so people of Nevis are disappointed. It's one thing when you give somebody a chance. Because all of us, I am sure, would have taken a chance on somebody, somewhere. But when you realize that that person has failed you, it is up to you to make a decision, I made a mistake. And if we cannot say that we made a mistake, then we're going to repeat the errors of our ways. And so I'm saying tonight, The people of Nevis took a chance. The late Vance Amory took a chance. My father took a chance. And everybody, he would have failed. And so tonight, I am saying, I am here. I am here because I recognize the struggles of the people of Nevis. And I have been moved. I have been moved to step up and to come forward because I know the people of Nevis deserve better. And better can be done. And I am here to deliver that for you. Now, I don't want to be too long tonight. But there's something that I must say. This government that we have right now would have failed the people of Nevis miserably. They would have failed the people of Nevis miserably. Because when you look at what would have transpired for the benefit of Nevis between 2005, 2015 and 2022, there is not much that you can see. The Charleston Accord was signed in 2014. And from 2015 to 2022, you cannot see where there was any legislation to ensure that the people of Nevis would get their fair share of revenues. It's not just the CPI. There are other areas of revenues that the people of Nevis should benefit from. And I am saying tonight that from 2015 to 2022, the CCM government would have failed the people of Nevis locally and federally, and we cannot afford to give them another chance. We cannot afford to give them another chance. Now, we have seen no new legislation for revenue sharing, and that is really what you go to Sinkers for in the Federal Assembly. You have seen no funding for geothermal, which was also part of the Charleston Accord. You have seen no fair share with regards to solar energy and renewable energy. We have seen Sinkers have a $70 million solar energy facility. How come we do not have any solar energy facilities here in Nevis? But you know what we have seen? You know what we have seen? We have seen legislation that speaks to a motion of no confidence. And it seems to me that the CCM government, how can I say it? They master the act of breaking up and disrupting what seems to be going good, because they would have filed a motion of no confidence for Labour, filed a motion of no confidence for PLP, and now they find themselves stuck. I would have to say they're stuck with PAM, and we all know that that is a failing relationship, because it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. If he forms a relationship, with PAM, you're going to hear another motion of no confidence, because it's not about looking out for the people of Nevis. It's about self-interest. So they filed the legislation for motion of no confidence, and the only other legislation that I can recall they filed was to deal with the fisheries. Where under the fisheries, under the Constitution, Nevis has the right to manage its fisheries. And under the CCM government, they gave up the rights of the Nevis Fisheries Department to the Sinkers Department of Fisheries. And so what have they done really to benefit the people of Nevis? We are not seeing anything. Nothing. Not a kip. And so when we look at the CCM administration, we see what we say is really poor performance. They have not performed. They have failed us. They have failed us on the federal level, and they have failed us on the local level. And when you look at the pandemic period, during the pandemic, you could not see any empathy, any caring. And we know that most women work in the hospitality industry. The hospitality industry that was created and developed under NRP, they have not advanced it. And so during a pandemic, when most of our women would have been out of work, you know what you get up and say? Oh, I beg, I want this. And I want got on false here. I want got on fingernails. And then come beg me. I mean, really? Really? What I'm saying, you really need a government that understands what is required in order for our people to advance and to move forward. And so, you would imagine, you have ministers, the same 3 ministers in the local government, in the federal government, and they get constituency allowances. And I wonder what they think the constituency allowances are for. It is to help people, members of your constituency, who are having a hard time. But you know, you have some people say, oh, them I beg. But you're an elected representative, you're supposed to help people. And you must understand that you're supposed to help people. That is what your constituency allowance is for. It is not for you to put up. And it's not for you to say, boy, me stop going because people are beg too much. So me not going to this bar, me not going to that bar because people are beg me too much. But you have a constituency allowance, and that is to help people who are in need, not to condemn people and make people feel less than, because we were in a pandemic, and you should have gone above and beyond to make sure that our people can at least be in a comfortable way. Now, I'm not really going to talk too much about the $400 million. I think my colleague Rohan and Dr. Bartlett spoke about accountability and fair and governance. But this is Janice Daniel Hodge. I am your representative for, well, the candidate. I ain't the representative yet. I want to be that, but I'm not that yet, right? But I am the candidate for Nevis 11. And I'm going to tell you, in Nevis 11, when you look at how the $400 million was spent, I have to ask. I know they used to say country mice and city mice and all kind of story, right? So, I want to know, when you look at all the money that is spent in roads, when you look at all the money that is spent in roads, what happened to the roads in St. James's? When you look at the road from Newcastle to Fountain, imagine they started saying they're going to build a road to connect Newcastle to Fountain. And they get halfway, and the road finished. And so all of my good people who want to come to Newcastle, they still have to drive on the same bumpy road that takes you from Fountain. You have to go to Mount Lily and Camps to come all the way around. But they started out saying they have money. But what did they tell you? What did they tell you? Oh, we get halfway. We get halfway and then somebody died, and so we're not able to get the necessary papers to do it. But tell me where any private citizen started on the road. And so all of my good people pay halfway on the road. And so all of my good people halfway. Dr. Bartlett would have said, it's a state of lawlessness. They feel that they're above the law, right? And as my good colleague Rohan Eyes would have said, it's all a sham. It's all con. They're all conning each other. So, when we look at the $400 million, and we see that the road that was supposed to connect Fountain to Newcastle ended halfway, we must know that that was a waste of money, because you set out to connect 2 villages, and you did not do that. So you would have failed in that regard. When we look again in St. James's Parish, at our water taxi pier. Our water taxi pier. We say that we are looking at high net worth, and we're looking at high-end tourism. And you want to tell me you go around the world to encourage people to come to a place that is so close to paradise. And when they get off the water taxi pier, the taxis park up to the side of the road. No provision in place to ensure that when people come, there's something called first impression. There's something called first impression. And when we go out and we try to get these high-end tourists to come here, the first thing that they're going to see is what? People dodging across the road. No proper parking facility. no proper waiting area. And this CCM government feels that this is what the people of Nevis deserve. But guess what? It's not the people of Nevis, you know. It's not just the people of Nevis. We are dependent on tourism. And you must create a destination where people can come and feel that this is worth me paying what I have to pay to get here. They don't see it that way. They're putting a pier, no waiting area, no parking facilities, and guess what? This is good enough for Nevis people. But what they missed is the fact that we are marketed as a tourism destination. And when people come here, they must come and feel that, wow, this is a high-end destination. And so CCM has taken Nevis to a point where you know, back in the day, I used to hear about going to dances. And they have some dances where they would say, only certain people could, come. And they have some dances where they say, wash your foot and come, right? But I think CCM has taken Nevis as a tourism destination, which they want to market as a high-end, but really what they have provided is a wash your foot and come. Wash your foot and come. And so that must impact our economy and the amount of revenues that we're able to generate. And so when we look at what this government has been doing with all of the access to monies that they have, when we look at the fact that we speak about, they built a police station in Newcastle. But let me ask you this. When you look at the Newcastle police station, which still cannot provide what it's supposed to provide, when you look at the water taxi pier, when you look at, for example, the road that they have been done, what you realize that nothing new has been done. And so as a government, you must create new streams of revenue. You cannot simply say that we're just repairing and replacing. Because I can assure you, when NRP was in government, you saw new developments. Never before did we have the financial services sector. Never before did we have a Bank of Nevis. Never before did we have a sixth form college. Never before did we have the Four Seasons Resort. And so when we speak about new development and creating job opportunities, that is what NRP will do, because NRP understands performance matters. Performance matters. It's not just about talking the fancy talk. You must deliver. You must deliver for the benefit of your people. And so, what I would say, I've spoken quite a bit about some of the issues and some of the concerns. But I'm sure you'd want to know, when you elect Dr. Patricia Bartlett in Nevis 9, Mr. Rohan Iles in Nevis 10, and myself, Dr. Janice Daniel Hart in Nevis 11, you must know that you're going to have representation for the people of Nevis. You must have representation for the people of Nevis.
Nevis first.
And so, no, you can play Nevis first, because that is our position. And guess what? Like I said, NRP is in a position where our agenda is based on Nevis. So whether it's a local election, a federal election, a regional election, whatever election it is, your NRP candidates are here because we are representing Nevis. And Nevis would always be our first priority.
Nevis first.
So, I will tell you, the first mission of your NRP representatives in the federal government must be to legislate the revenue sharing abilities of the people of Nevis. And I will tell you, I will tell you, it is not just about CBI, because we have spoken about the blue economy and the revenues that you can get from the blue economy. And so we're not just limited to what we see as what they call easy pickings. We are intending to go to ensure that Nevis's revenue sharing is based on all of the ways in which revenue is generated in Sinkers. Now, we will also ensure, your NRP representatives, that the projects that have been started by this CCM government, and they cannot complete them for, and the reason, I mean, when you look at the explanation of how the $400 million was spent, those projects would have to be completed. Because your NRP government is about the people of Nevis. It's about the people of Nevis. And we are not going to be a government like that government that came in and saw a fully approved fisheries complex just to be executed and operationalized and put it aside. For what reason? And so imagine all of the work that NRP would have done. And my good friend Dr. Daly, I think he may still be here, but Dr. Daly and his team would have worked tirelessly, because remember, this is Nevis. And in order to attract the type of investment in Nevis, it's a lot more challenging because of our small size. And so the work that was put in order to get that project approved for our fisheries, and the CCM government came in and just abandoned it. How can we say that they have the best interests of Nevis at heart? We cannot say that. We cannot say that. And so when we look at, for example, the fisheries complex, when we look at the oil storage facility, when we look at the possible arrangements to provide jobs for our youths who are out of school, 6 subjects, 7 subjects, 8 subjects, 9 subjects, and they cannot find a job in Nevis. And this CCM government does not see anything wrong with a situation like that. And we are saying that we must understand that as a government, your first responsibility must be to provide opportunities for your people. Going on as far as agriculture is concerned, and we see a trend where there's a limitation. Now, when we speak about mango here in Nevis, and we see the amount of mango that we have here, what is preventing us from advancing a mango industry? Because you see, when you set out to understand that you must provide job opportunities for your people, you would know that even if you break even with the import cost compared to what you have to pay your people, at least your people will be employed. But you see, when you have a government that operates as if they're running a business, they're not looking at the people who are struggling. They're not looking at saying, well, even if I can provide opportunities for my people to work, and I even break even on importing, that is the position I have to take. But you have a government now that prefers to just sit back and wait for the CBI money. Sit back and import. That is so easy. And do not care about the people who are struggling, who have been unemployed. And when you look at what we have as far as mangoes are concerned, we can see an industry from the planting of mango trees all the way to the harvesting, processing, exporting, to create job opportunities. It doesn't matter if you import dull mango chunks and you break even. Forget about importing those things and create employment opportunities here. And these are the things that I'm saying that the NRP government would ensure happens, because we are looking out for the best interests of our youths and our people who are out of work. Now, I have so many things here, but I'm not going to speak to all of them tonight. I think you have an idea and understanding that NRP is really for the people. I want to ensure that our people can prosper. And we would all know, under an NRP government, the people of Nevis have prospered. Under CCM government, the people of Nevis have suffered, have struggled, and we have gone backwards. Now, there's one thing I must touch on, though, with regards to energy and electricity and the high cost of our electricity bills. Because when you look at trying to attract investors, you cannot have a high cost of doing business and expect to attract people. And so there's one position where I would say the CCM government, I don't think they lied when they said that they had investors out at shore waiting, out to sea waiting. Because you know what? The investors recognized that Nevis was well on its way to geothermal energy. And with the cheap cost of electricity, investors were lining up to come in because it would be more profitable for them. But guess what? CM government got in. And they fumbled that whole opportunity. And so what you must recognize, you must make Nevis attractive to investors. And once you have done away with geothermal energy, which would have put Nevis way above all of the other Caribbean islands, then we're at a loss. And so I say to you, I am going to skip all the way down because some of the things that we want to be able to do, and I would say I'm here in Nevis 11, and I recognize that fisheries is an important part of the economy and the livelihoods for the people in Nevis 11. And so, had NRP been in government and we had access to $400 million, I would narrow it down to two things that I, Janice Daniel Hodge, as leader of the NRP, would have ensured took place. One, renewable energy, whether it's solar energy or geothermal energy. And the other thing I would have definitely made sure happen is to invest in the livelihoods of our fishers. Because I'm going to tell you, when you look at Nevis 11, we have fish landing sites in Jessops, in Cotton Ground, at Jones Bay, at Newcastle. I said Nevis 11, but once we all benefit, we would all benefit in Hans's Road as well. And at Long Haul. And so we see that in Nevis 11, that is where you have the major fishing happening. And so, when you look at people like Ronald Cozier, I think Frankie's older than he is. And these guys who have been fishing for a very long time, and they have raised their families based on fishing. And so when you look at people like Ronald and George and Percy, they know who they are. I don't have to give the last names. And people like Frankie and Knife and Budai and the ones, you have a lot of ones down in your Newcastle area. You have a lot of ones, right? But when you look at these people, and Wallace, and Gonzalez, and Jason, and Chili, and the David brothers, and CJ, and Kervin, and Perkins, and Mills, and I cannot call out the fishers unless I say Kaya, because whatever people think about Kaya, I've had so many conversations with Kaya, and he have informed me about so many things. But when you look at all these persons who are involved in fishing, and we are not seeing what is required in terms of developing fisheries, we must recognize that we are missing out big time. And so you have Glennis and Troy and Blues and Bit and Justin and Mally and all of these persons who are involved in fisheries. We must understand that fisheries is an important part, because when we speak about sustaining ourselves, we must invest in our fisheries to ensure that we can generate our food here in Nevis. And so I would say to you that as we look at improving the standard of living, you drive through Fountain, because we're here in Fountain. And what is the reason why we cannot have a proper road from Westbury to Camps? What is the reason why we cannot have solar lights around the guts in the area when you come through Fountain? And I would say it has to be because of negligence. Why it is that the people in Fountain have to pay bus service to take their children to school. Why is there such a disparity between what happens in St. Kitts and what happens in Nevis with regards to school lunch programs, etc.? And so the people of Nevis have been suffering and struggling, and we're not seeing where the representation that we would have ensured got to St. Kitts did what is required. So it's not just about CBI. There are a number of issues where Nevis is back at the back of the bus under the CCM government. Nevis was at a point where we were prospering on the NRP. People from St. Kitts would come over to Nevis to work. And that is what happens when you have a vision and you know where you want to go. And I'm telling you, when you see a government who grabs at everything and they can't tell you what direction they want to take the country in, you know we're in trouble. You know we're in trouble. NRP has said to you that we want to have a Nevis where we are prosperous. We want to have a Nevis where our youths can have hope for the future. We want to have a Nevis where our people can work one job and take care of the bills. We want to have a Nevis where your electricity bill is not higher than your mortgage payment. We want to have a Nevis where you can afford affordable housing. And we want to have a Nevis where we can feel that we're in paradise again. And so, ladies and gentlemen, my people, all of my people who are here, I say my people of Nevis. I am not just going to say my NRP people. Don't feel bad, because I've spoken to so many people who have told me, Janice, I am supporting you, but you know I walk this place, so you're not going to see me around. Janice, you know I got my brother working this place, and I don't want him to get fired. Janice, you know NRP is the better party for Nevis. All of these people I have spoken with, and so you may not see them all here tonight. You may not see them all here tonight. But you know, I know a couple songs, right? And one of them that I like to say, and I'm sure there's some people who say, they've heard me say this. Nobody have to know who you're going to vote for. I can't sing. But nobody have to know. Nobody have to know. And so I'm saying to you who are here tonight, who are brave and courageous, and you come out tonight because, you know, no matter what, NRP is the best party for Nevis. I am saying, when you see your neighbors don't come out, don't condemn them because they have a bill to pay. And we cannot afford for them to be victimized. And we know that this government is great at victimizing people. So I am saying, let us all, you know what they say? Still waters run deep. And they may say I look small in stature. But I always say, Mr. Rohan Isles, he's not here by accident. Because I'm sure if I have to jump up on his shoulders, he would carry me where I need to go. And your NRP team, we are here to represent. And I can tell you, when we speak about integrity and accountability and understanding the reason why we are going to St. Kitts, to represent you in the federal government, to ensure that Nevis gets its fair share, not to mash up the government and come out and then want to go back in to get it. That cannot work. What kind of thinking is that? And so I'm telling you tonight, all of my people, NRP is the party for the people of Nevis. And we are saying, change, tell me, change must come. Change must come in this federal election. And when we get change, we're going to make Nevis nice again. We're going to make Nevis nice again. And we're going to make Nevis nice again because Nevis is always our first priority. And so, this is the time when we're saying, you took a chance before. You took a chance before. The people of Nevis took a chance. Vance Army took a chance. Simeon Daniel took a chance. All of us took a chance. And I think all of us are disappointed. All of us are disappointed because CCM has failed the people of Nevis. They have failed the people of Nevis, and we cannot afford to put the future of Nevis in the hands of CCM again. And so I'm saying to all of you here tonight, encourage your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your uncle, whoever you know. If you want to see the future of Nevis, if you want to ensure that when our children come out of school, they have an opportunity to be employed, ensure that you put Nevis first. And ensure that on election day, you go out and you vote. I do not want to hear, oh, this is a federal government. Never before have we had 3 ministers, 3 representatives from Nevis being what? Never before. So while we are here, and don't talk about college, because you know what? Since NRP bought the 6th form college, we have not seen any advancement in tertiary education for people in Nevis. And so I'm saying to you, my voice, I've been talking more than I normally talk. I've probably spoken more during this campaign than I've spoken in my entire life up to this point. But understand that NRP is the party that understands what it means to perform and what it means to deliver for the people of Nevis. And we delivered before, and we will deliver again, because Nevis is our first priority, and we know that performance matters. So on the day of election, it is a federal election, but we know that CCM has taken us to a point where we have to depend on the federal government. We have to depend on the federal government. And despite the funding that they receive, they cannot pay the 10%. And so they can't pay the 10%, and they're saying, give us all the money and we'll manage your programs. Well, if you got the money to pay the 10% and you could not do that, how are you planning to manage all of the programs? And you know, I've spoken to some persons and they said, oh, there's some talk about the airport expansion. Now this is in St. James's. But the problem is, they cannot finish a hospital in town. They cannot finish any of the projects. How can we entrust the CCM government to handle any airport expansion? We've seen the cost overruns on all the projects. And you know, one of the troubling things is we speak about food security and we speak about our fisheries. And the talk that I'm hearing about airport expansion has to do with removing the Newcastle fish landing site. And so we can't manage. People are not coming. The airport used to function well. We had Winnie and Leah and American Eagle and all these planes coming. So they cannot manage that. But they want to manage a big jet coming in. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long night. I just want to say to you, NRP is here because Nevis is our first priority. When you look to Dr. Bartlett in Nevis 9, you look at Rohan Isles in Nevis 10, and you look at myself in Nevis 11, what you see are people who understand what the importance of government is. People understand that it's our responsibility to provide job opportunities, and it's our responsibility to ensure that Nevis can be at a path where we can sustain ourselves and not be dependent again on the government of sinkers. And so I ask you to recognize that this upcoming election, which will happen before August 8th, is no ordinary election. It is no ordinary election. And so you want a government who's able to sit down, negotiate, collaborate, and ensure that we get our fair share. Not just from the CBI, but from all of the other areas that have not been looked at. My people, I am asking you, those at home, those across the diaspora, whether you're NRP now or you're not, we must understand and we must agree NRP is best for Nevis. And so please do not take this upcoming election for granted. because we will be going further down the slippery slope. Give your NRP candidates an opportunity to bring a new approach, to bring new ideas, and to ensure that Nevis could get back to where it was before by having a party that understands what it is to have a vision, what it is to have a leader. And so I'm going to beg again. I'm begging because I want everybody to come out. A number of persons have not voted for the last couple elections. This is not an ordinary election. We see where Nevis is now. We cannot afford to sit back and see all of these incomplete projects. We cannot afford to sit back and hear, well, the dock don't do, the boat them not come in, and no waiting facility, no parking facilities. You ever seen anything on the, you look at NEPAC, on the NRP, look at the parking facilities here. That is what you call vision and planning. You look at the developments on the NRP and you see a party that respects its people and takes pride in the development of Nevis, not half-finished projects, and feel that that is good enough for the people of Nevis. And so I am asking you to let this election be a turning point. And I'm going to talk to the DJ now because there's a song that I love to hear. We talk about change must come. And we've been waiting for a long time. We've been waiting for a long time. The people of Nevis have been waiting to get NRP back in government, to get a government that understands we're not running a business. You're running a government that must respond to the needs of the people when they're suffering and when they're struggling. And you put programs in place to help them. And so we must have that change. We must have that change. And I'm asking you tonight, all who is listening, to ensure that Nevis is put back on a path of prosperity. I am here tonight. I am here tonight. I never intended to be contesting a federal election, but nobody expected that our representatives would be fired. And nobody expected that we'd be fully dependent on St. Kitts again. And so rebuilding that relationship with the federal government is important because we have not had any new development that create job opportunities for people here in Nevis. And so we have to go back to the beginning. We have to go back. CCM has taken us back to the beginning, where we're now fully dependent on St. Kitts again. No revenue generating opportunities. And so we must make that change. We must make that change. And so a change must come. And I hope by now we can hear a change gonna come.
I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change must come.
Change must come.
Yes, it will. It's been
my people, I love you. And whoever wants to question my love for you, listen. My name is, I'm taking this from my good colleague, Ohana. My name is Janice Daniel Hodge. And I'm here to help Nevis, to bring peace, progress, and prosperity back to Nevis. And I ask all of you for the support to make Nevis prosperous again. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Thank you.
Better days are coming. Change your ways. Don't let this moment pass you by and remain the same. Better days are coming. Change your ways. Don't let this moment pass you by and remain the same. Hey, what we gonna do now? There's no panorama. Hey, we can jump up and play bass in the savannah.
Better days are coming. And they're coming under the leadership of Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge and the Nevis Reformation Party.
Nevis first.
Nevis first is our first priority. And so, ladies and gentlemen of Fountain, it was indeed a pleasure to be here. We want to give thanks to Cabo, even though that he is saying that he wants help for small business enterprise. He has still offered the accommodations tonight and some of the sponsorship. So we ask you, Cabo, and we want to say thank you very much for your patronage to the Nevis Reformation Party and the people of Nevis. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to look at your schedules because we have published it for the next meeting. Look forward for the schedule and join us on the NRP train. We will be announcing it on radio, so look forward for it to come, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your support. Good night and God bless.
Nevis first. Nevis first. Hey.
Yeah.
Janice the first people.
Better days are coming. And they are coming under the leadership of Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge and the Nevis Reformation Party. Yeah.
Janice shine bright, could I never dim. She not for the people. She's a good leader. Protect your pride, no lose character. Nevis our first priority. Janice shine bright, could I never dim. Nevis our first priority. Change must come in this economy. Janice, take a look on society. Nevis can't go back to poverty. Find this part of prosperity. Good vibes, rev off the energy. Nevis is a place where you wanna be. Let me tell you about Janice. She no follow back up people. She know you know where you into. Searching different style, different flow. Positive and up and up so the thing go. Good and evil could never ever mingle. No. She no go that we understand. We understand. Janice no follow people. She's a good leader. Protect your pride and lose character. Nevis our first priority. Janice shine bright, could I never dim. She not for the people. She's a good leader. Protect your pride and lose character. Nevis our first priority. Janice shine bright, could I never dim. St. James people, vote for Janice, vote for NRP.